I don't say that in most situations with fighters. Because very rare great fighters are great trained. That's very, very rare. Mostly the guy that's the great trainer is not the great fighter, and that's why he becomes a great trainer. And I give Floyd a good chance because Floyd's a gym rat. That's all he does. I'm sure you hear him out in the club. You see him in the club for 1 week, but he's in the gym every day for 25 years. Even when he goes out and party, he's back in the gym the next. He's just a ruck. That's just what he does it in his sleep. He could do it. He could do it. This is what he do. He just fights, and he has a good chance of doing it because he stays in shape. He's rarely out of shape, unless he has some new lifestyle that I don't know about. But he's rarely out of shape. His lifestyle is predictable to just a long duration of athletic reign. This is lifestyle because that's what he does.
How about yourself in terms of training? We've seen you on the sidelines with Sugar Rashad Evans. We've seen you with other UFC fighters showing off some skills. Is that something you'd ever want to do? Go more into that, or is that in your past?
Hey, listen, like I said, training is a very difficult animal. Fighting is nothing compared to training. Let me tell you that. When you got somebody else that you have to worry about, you have to throw the towel, he might get hurt, he might lose his life, he's going in with a real dangerous guy. It takes a special guy. He has to have family, he has to be a psychiatrist, he has to be a mother, he has to be a father, he has to wear so many hats for that particular job. And not because you're a successful fighter or the cream of the crop fighter, you're not able to do that. This is a special animal to do this training stuff and be successful at it.
Those were the words of Iron Mike Tyson with TMZ Sports. That was pretty much almost 24 hours ago. James Weller, Boxing Source, here with another video. And this to talk about the comments of Iron Mike Tyson. When it comes to Floyd Money Mayweather going into training fighters. And Mike Tyson basically, analyzed, with Floyd Mayweather, he is a gym rat. Has always been a gym rat. He's been, one of the most focused fighters in the history of the sport. He is somebody that, in this modern day of boxing that doesn't really go into stuff that's outside of the sport of boxing, or like have a lifestyle that kind of takes away from what he could do in the gym. And even if he does like go out, like he has those appearances in clubs and things like that, he's still in the gym. He still focuses on, being the best ever, TBE. And he has like his diet routine, his workout routine, where he's in the gym, Mayweather Gym. He trains like no other fighter. And it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to take what he did and become a trainer to, other fighters. Now, with Floyd Mayweather, we all know that he's part of a boxing family, with Mayweather Sr., Roger, and he's been able to utilize what his father and uncles have done in the ring in the past to what he was able to do in the ring in his amateur and professional career, and then use his overall mindset, hustler mindset, to become one of the most successful boxers in the history of the sport and the most financially successful boxer in the history of the sport. Now, it's going to be on him if he wants to be able to reflect that into training. He said that in a time where we must distance ourselves from others, talking about this current time, it has allowed me to reflect on how I want to make a difference in people's lives and help them achieve their goals. A true trainer wants the best out of their fighter and pushes them to the best of their abilities. I want to leave an impression on those around me and allow them to see their potential. I am new at training, and so far I've been working with people with no boxing experience. Therefore, we are growing together. But I promise you, I will be one of the best trainers in the world. And I see that as a good little approach to start with guys that have no boxing experience, so that you'll be able to grow them, you'll be able to cultivate them, and then you'll see what they'll be able to do after they've been with you after a certain amount of time. But I mean, he'll be able to see if those particular fighters have that will, have that drive. They can have the ability, but if you don't have the drive, if you don't have the toughness or anything like that, then your full potential as a fighter might not come to fruition. And it's not like you're gonna be necessarily like Floyd Mayweather Jr., because you gotta have that combination that Floyd Mayweather Jr. had with or without the history that he has with his family. So if you're willing to work 25-8, 366, yes, I said it, 25-8, 366, and maybe you could pretty much get to that level. But you got to have the drive, you got to have the patience in order to be able to get to that particular level there. And with Floyd Mayweather, he also has to have the patience to work with fighters, especially in times where they may not do everything that you instruct them to do. And with the question that was posed to Mike Tyson, he pretty much was kind of leery on, being a boxing trainer himself. I mean, we've seen him in videos doing this, doing his thing, even at his age, that he's still able to, throw his punches like he was when he was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, because he has that, skill set, and he studied the game like no other when he was pretty much, starting in the game and being able to get to the level of being the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He had Customato behind him. He had the likes of Teddy Atlas behind him. And he was a gym rat too, and he had that, God-given ability as well. I mean, us fans have seen his pictures when he was like 16, 17 years old, when, he was looking like he was about 25, 26. But even with that, he still was in the gym, studying the game with the likes of Customato, watching, fight tapes, where he just stay up until 2, 3 in the morning or whatever it was to study the games of the best before him. And that's what had him be who he was in the ring. And so with Floyd Mayweather, it's basically, that same way, with having that, family pedigree and the God-given ability. He was able to, take that and then work on that and work on that and work on that like no other. And so now as a trainer, he has to see if he can have those fighters work like no other in order to cultivate them to be the best that they could be in the ring. That's what I got in reference to this particular topic. You can subscribe to The Boxing Source here on YouTube, or catch The Boxing Source radio show live Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Blog Talk Radio, or catch the podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Anchor.fm, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast app is. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.